Well, that wasn't good. Welcome back to the community, everybody, and thank you all for being part of it. I really appreciate it. If you would like to make a donation to help with the DIY videos, there's a safe, secure link in the description below to PayPal. Today, we're going to go ahead and talk about caster shims. I'm going to show you them and how they mount. And they are very important, even if you have a stock Beetle, and I will explain why. And then I'm going to go over a couple of other things. And as you know, we got that Empi beam in a box. Yeah, this one here. That's the one. If you missed, I think it was 2 videos ago, I went ahead and I got the Empi beam in the box that was sponsored to me. So look down in the description if you want a discount. I want a full setup beam, spindle to spindle. And no, it wasn't a sales promotion. I'm just showing you what I'm going to be running. And that's what we'll be mounting. Today's Friday. We'll be mounting that either Monday or Tuesday. Like I said, I got to start on 2 videos a week. I took a pause this past week to get some stuff done. So let's get on it. I'll show you a few things and it'll all make sense. I know, I always have a lot to talk about. Don't forget, if you missed the video, I did the fittings on the shock tires. I still have to do the other side. I got lazy. But that's where you pump grease inside the shock tower so that it don't rust. And I think it's a really good idea, in all honesty. Drag this video out real long today, but there's a lot about these caster shims that folks don't know. And even if you have a stock Beetle, this will be something also for you. I'm not claiming that I have all of this knowledge about caster shims, but I know the brief on it, so to speak. So let's go over these. I'll show you the part number, tell you where I got them and everything, and we'll show you them, how they position on the car and what they do. So I'll bring these up close and show you the part numbers on both items. I got them from Misty at the B-Dub store, and I called her and said, hey, you know, I want to get some caster shims. I did a lot of reading on these, and I believe I need them. Yes, we're lowering the car. However, stock car also. So here's the part numbers. Okay, that would be the shims. And this would be the longer bolts, just the 2 that you would put where the shims are so they reach far enough. The funny thing is, Misty's a big help because I called her up and I said, hey, I can't talk long. I need some caster shims. She ships the same day, so I get them pretty quick. And I said, hey, I need some caster shims. You want to toss them in the mail for me? She has all my information on hand to bill me. And she's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, okay, I'll see you later. Because we're friends. It's just how we talk. And she says, you want the longer bolts so something bad don't happen? I forgot. At least I'm honest. Thanks, Misty. Okay, let's talk about this. Now, when they designed the Volkswagen Beetle back in the late 30s, I don't believe it was designed for the Autobahn. That was mostly designed for troop transportation and stuff like that. However, these were not built with much caster. They were actually built for mostly, I would have to say, like around town, the people's car. Like it was designed for people to have a car, maintenance it, and run around town, parking lots, go shopping. They really weren't designed for the highway. I'm not stating that they built them and said don't use them on a highway. I think they were thought up more, though, for more running around town, stuff like that. So there was not enough caster on them from the factory for what we do now, like driving on the highways, you know, 55, 60 mile an hour. Because then, you know, you can end up with what some refer to it as the death wobble. Some refer to it as the car's wandering around or the wheels shaking, you know, things of that nature. Whoa, the heck? Oh, great. Hope a big truck don't go by. Now, I'm not telling everybody you have to get online or run out and buy caster shims today. That's not my goal. I'm just trying to educate you a little bit from the reading I've done on it, because we drive on the highways a lot now. We're going to car shows, going to local car cruises, VW shows. We're all over the place in these cars now, although I was years ago too. So, but anyhow, you want it to handle the best that you can, especially society now drives much different in their newer cars than they did many years ago. People are not as forgiving, especially on a highway. Now, once you get around 65, I'm just giving you a rough estimate of the miles per hour, the wheels sit back further, the front wheels. Now, when these were designed, the wheels, obviously from the factory, sit back further. And in a second, I'll show you what I mean at the workbench. When your wheels sit back further, it causes a negative caster. And what happens, and that's from the factory that way, is that's when it starts wandering around the highway, around 60, 65, or sometimes you'll get a steering shake. And yes, it can happen. If somebody comments and says, never happened to me, that's great, I'm glad, but it can happen. And it did. I know on a lot of mine that I have owned over the years would wander back and forth on a highway when I was cruising around 65 mile an hour. But I just came to think that it was just, it's VW. And it was. Just like the old the Wranglers. they wandered all over the road at 35. I like them though. They're pretty cool. But anyhow, I'm going to show you where they mount and what to do if you lower your car, or if you raise your car, or if your car's stock. So let's go ahead and open the casters, and we'll go over a couple more things, and I will let you go shortly. Now, to take 30 seconds and show you what I mean is this is my wheel dolly, obviously. See how the wheel is back further, how it's angled to the back of the car. This is the back of the car. Your front wheels are back further. Okay, that's pretty much the design of the Beetle. Now, this is probably over exaggerating it, but I'm trying to just get you into this on the same page as me. That's what will cause that wandering around, you know, when you're going down a highway. It'll start wandering, or it can start shaking. Okay, so when you're putting the caster shims on, this is a little extreme. Your wheel ends up going forward. This is the front bumper. Okay, this is kind of childish, isn't it? That would be the front of the car. So when you're putting your caster shims on with the beam going like that for lowering or getting more caster, you're kicking the beam out, which sends the wheels forward. Now, you, like I said, you can also do that on stock VWs for better steering. But I'll explain something, and we're going to get under the car. Wow, that wasn't good. Bear with me. I'm going to show you the shims where they go on the frame head. However, what I'm trying to explain here is when you put the shims on the lower part of the beam to kick the wheels forward, okay, because the car is either lowered or it's stock, your steering will get a little heavier, especially in parking lots and things of that nature, okay? I'm not saying it's going to be horrible to steer, but I think the steering is a little too light in these anyhow. So the steering will get a little heavier, which I think is actually a benefit, really, especially since we have these very large steering wheels. The factory steering wheels are big. You know, back in the day, I ran a little, I don't even know, a 10 or 11 or 12 inch. I can't remember. It was tiny. And it was very hard to steer, but I wanted to look cool, you know, so that's what I ran when I was in my latter teens. But the bigger steering wheel allows for that heavier steering in front. So I just wanted to bring that up. It's not a bad thing. When you lower the vehicle, it causes your trailer arms to go up. So when you're putting your shims on the bottom, it kicks it forward to make up for it. Okay, we're going to open these shims up. I want to measure the thickness, and then I'm going to get under the car with them and show you something. And we're almost done. So I gotta, there we go. Boom, boom. I want to measure the thickness of these. See with these, I'm trying to look through the camera. That's not easy. Okay, the thickest part, I'm trying to get this right. There we go. The thickest part would be just a titch. Try again. Oh, it does look like a 1/4 inch. I thought they were 3/16. But they appear to be a 1/4 inch. Let me get you closer. You guys want to do this on your own, which I wouldn't recommend unless you're a machinist or something. Yeah, they're a 1/4 inch. So these are a 1/4 inch at the thickest spot if that makes any sense. We're going to get under the car with these in 1 second. Let me open the bolts, and let me grab some stock bolts. Oop, that isn't one. Oh, there they are. Woo! Okay, there's the difference between the longer bolt and the short bolt, and I'll tell you how much longer in a moment it is with measuring it. So that's what it looks like. So the battery's burned out on my micrometers, no big deal. Here's the stock one. Okay, and we are approximately 3.5 inches. Here is the longer one for your caster shims, and it is, looks like 3 15/16. So there you have it. All right, we're under the car, and your caster shims, when you are lowering the car, will go on the bottom. Well, they fit really nice in there. Okay. I know I say okay a lot. Too bad. Stay in there. Okay. Well, they're going to go on the lower part of the beam when you are lowering your vehicle. Okay. And like I said, you will get a little heavier of a steering, but you're perfectly fine with it. It's not the end of the world. If in fact you have a stock one and it is wandering, now it stayed, and it is wandering on the highways or a little bit of wobble, you might want to try a set of these on the lower portion of the beam. Now, if you are raising it, if you have a Baja or that type of, look you're after, and you're raising the car, put them on the top part of the beam where it bolts to the frame head. So remember this. We're going to try this bolt. Bottom is for lowering or stock. Putting them on the top, okay, would mean that you raised the car. So you need the shims on top. Some people have even had to stack 2 of them on the bottom. I guess that's if you're really low. I don't know. My buddy Sean told me about that. So let's go ahead. I got to position myself. I just want to see, make sure the thread's fine. Oh, yeah. Very nice. And you know what? It never hurts, if in fact you want to take out a little extra time and know what tap you're using, the tap size. I forget without looking what size these threads are. I thought it was 12 millimeter. I can't remember. And run a tap through to clean them out. But if you do the wrong size, you're going to have serious issues. I only advise it if you really know the size of the thread pitch. So just remember, 1 on each side. If you are lowering the car or it's stock on the lower part of the beam. If you have a Baja or you're raising the vehicle, these will be on top. Okay? So make sure that you take your time and torque properly. So on, I believe, Monday, I'll release the next video. Today's Friday, because like I said, I got to start doing 2-3 videos a week now. We're going to go ahead and mount this beam. I'll show you the shims getting mounted, and we're going to check this beam in the box from Empi for fitment. I'm very confident with it, but I still want to check it to show the quality of the fitment. So we'll do that. That'll be out on Monday. Also, don't forget, but I'll show you when I'm mounting, to use your spare lock washers on the new bolts. They don't come with those. Now, before I go, check this out. My buddy gave me these. He found them in an old house. I believe he purchases old homes and fixes them up. Now, how cool is this? And that one is almost filled with the original oil, which I believe is probably straight 30 weight. But how cool are these? They're 2-gallon cans. I really appreciated that. Now, like I said, don't forget your lock washers if you go to mount your beam before you tune back in for the beam mounting. But I like them golf cans. I thought they were so cool. He surprised me with them, and he knew I'd appreciate them. I seen them once in a while at some of the fleetique or antique stores, whatever you call them. But they're always so expensive, But having the oil in them, I mean, I won't pour it in my motor or anything, but I thought it was really cool. So, all right, today's Friday. I won't do a live chat this weekend. I don't want to bore everybody and do it every week. I don't know how you feel about that. So I'll go ahead and put another video out, I believe Monday, Tuesday at the latest. We're going to have the videos a lot closer together, and we'll go ahead and mount the beam, do the shims, and start bolting everything up and see what it fits like. But my confidence is pretty high with it. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Stay positive and be happy.